Buenos días, vecinos. I'm here in Paipa Boyacá, and right behind me here is the largest monument in Colombia. Aquí me encuentro en Pueblito Boyacense, en Duitama, Boyacá. It's a replica of the original one in Paipa, which I think is really, really big. A lot of people know about La Batalla de Boyacá, the one that basically effectively ended the revolution, but La Batalla de Boyacá and the decisive victory wouldn't have been possible if it wouldn't have been for the decisive victory here at La Batalla de Pantano Vargas, just a few weeks before that. This is a monument to José Rondón and his 14 jinetes. There's 14, jinete is, how would you translate jinete in English? Like a rider, like jockeys.
Rider.
Yeah, a rider. He was a rider. Horse rider. Horse riders, horsemen. I'll call them riders. Riders are really cool, you know, Johnny Cash. And there were 14 of them, and they were lancers, so they weren't just regular horse riders. They had lancers. They had lances that were like 3 meters long, and they would like chase people down on the battlefield. In the days of the Colombian revolution, o sea, 1816, 1817, José Rondón was a Venezuelan horse thief on the Llaneros, and he used to steal horses from the Spanish, sell them to the Patriots, and eventually he was just so disgusted with the Spanish, the way they treated everybody, that he joined the Patriots. And one of his big shining moments was during La Batalla de Pantano Vargas. On July 25th, 1819, Simón Bolívar and the Patriotas, they were coming from over that direction, and they were trying to go over there. They were trying to mount that hill over there to mount an offensive. And the Spanish were up over here on this hill, and Bolívar and his troops were trying to go up that way. This was before the Batalla de Boyacá, kind of in the lead up to the Batalla de Boyacá, and it was a very long battle. It lasted all day. They were going back and forth. For part of the day, the Spanish were winning, and then the Patriots were winning, and then the Spanish were winning again, and then the Patriots were winning. It was just a long, exhaustive battle. And at the end of the day, everybody was just exhausted. José Rondón, he was in charge of his 14 jinetes. And they didn't participate in the whole battle until the very end. Finally, the Spanish decided to mount one last offensive. I can't remember his name. The Spanish general started to charge down the hill, and he said something like, "Ni Dios me puede vencer," or something like that. He was very arrogant. He expected to win. And the Patriots were at the bottom of the hill, and they saw this charge coming at them, and they just thought everything was lost. Everybody was exhausted. Bolívar thought he was going to lose. So he turned to his troops. He said, "Shit, man, I think we're going to lost the battle." And Juan José Rondón looked at him and said, "Yeah, Bolívar, how can you say we've lost the battle when me and my squad haven't even got in yet?" So Bolívar looked at him and he said one of those iconic words in Colombian history. Of course, if you're an American, you might know some words like Colonel Prescott in the Battle of Bunker Hill, and he's like, "Don't shoot till you see the white of their eyes." And the famous words that are famous historical words here in Colombian history, Simón Bolívar looked at Juan José Rondón and said, "Rondón, salve usted la patria." Rondón, save the country. Sí, eso es como las palabras famosas. Y José Rondón dijo, "Okay, hold my beer." Rondón was like, "Sígueme los valientes!" And he went up there, and yeah, first was 14 riders, and then all the rest of the troops that weren't already killed or injured followed him up there, and they just routed the Spanish. They just kicked some ass. They kicked some Spanish ass. All the royalists were defeated, and they won the Battle of Pantano Vargas. After the Battle of Pantano Vargas, the tide had turned. That basically changed the whole war at that point. The Spanish army was so decimated, they had no choice but to limp back to Bogotá. And this put them on their back foot, and now Bolívar and his troops had to go cut them off somewhere and stop them from getting to Bogotá. So it was kind of a different strategy. And as you know, a few weeks later, they did catch up with the Spanish troops over there at El Puente de Boyacá. And that rest is history. Today, the 7th of August, is a national holiday to celebrate La Batalla del Puente de Boyacá. But this was actually more an important battle. The Battle of Pantano Vargas on July 25th, 1819. Chao, vecinos, que estén muy bien.